storytelling, it's actually the magic tool of the great stage masters. It is the weapon that you can use to succeed in your speech. That's why I had very high expectations from Leilani, because I know she's so passionate, she's so full of emotion, and she has this creative energy, and again, you didn't disappoint me. She picked for this project a historical tale, a fairy tale, a mythical tale. And actually this is a very smart thing to do, because when you begin your story with once upon a time, there was a magical place, there was a kingdom, there was a king and a queen. They had two daughters. One of them had the magical powers to create ice and snow. It seems like a fairy tale, it seems like it's for children, but believe me, I've seen professional speakers, very successful speakers, making an irrelevant presentation. Maybe they're even trying to sell you something, but they begin with that technique. Because that technique is something that's ingrained not only in your brains, that's also ingrained genetically. Because before we had television, before we had theater, before we had movies, we had stories. We were telling each other fairy tales. So I think it's embedded genetically. When someone begins with once upon a time, it immediately grabs your attention. And he managed to grab our attention. We got pulled into this magical kingdom with these two daughters. The one older daughter caring for a little sister and creating snow, and the little sister being so careless and free and always trusting that her big sister would be there for her and create the snow if she fell. And one day she didn't. And the big sister, of course, she had this trauma because she couldn't save her little sister. And then Leilani did something else. She embedded a message in her story, because the doctor told the bigger sister she has to wear gloves. She has to wear gloves to protect her from using these powers again, because it hurt her little sister. But these gloves represented a wall, isn't that right? An emotional wall that we built up because of some trauma or some mistake or something that we experienced that we blame ourselves for. So these gloves were a wonderful tool. And then when Leilani ended her story, how did her story end? The two sisters, when the older sister gets coronation, she becomes the queen. They had an argument about not sharing their feelings, and the glove gets ripped off. So the wall comes off. And what happens after the wall came off? Leilani starts to sing. And it seemed at first very Walt Disney, and I was thinking, there's Leilani like the princess dancing, but when I listened, and when I made that match with the glove, the wall coming off, and when you listen to the words, they were so powerful, such a powerful message, Leilani. I almost thought I was going to cry at a certain point. Even though I thought, this is childish, but it was so powerful. And that's, I think, ladies and gentlemen, that is what strong storytellers do. They leave an emotional message that leaves us filled with emotion, and that's what you do in communications.